What do I think of being a writer? I asked myself this question when I started posting my work more. I never really thought about it before, not to the extent that I have recently. Before I asked it, I thought I knew what I liked about writing. My first thought was that I liked writing silly little stories about my silly little guys. But it goes deeper than that, actually. Like, way deeper. Back when I wrote my first ever short story, I was feeling panicked because I didn't know what to get my mom. And I was about 7, and I had so many ideas of what I could get her, like a card, a stuffed animal, jewelry, a bag, stuff like that. But, I was 7. I couldn't get her all the nice stuff, so I sat down and I wrote the birthday bonsai. That was the first time I used writing to cope with strong feelings that I wasn't sure how to handle. And from there, it sort of went downhill for me. Or uphill, depending on how you look at it. But if someone tries to talk to me about hobbies, I will probably only talk about writing. But, if they're into that, we could probably get along. I started using writing as therapy without realizing it. I'd just pick up a pencil whenever I had feelings and I didn't know what to do with them. Only I started using characters from shows, movies, and books instead of creating my own characters. There were still times where I created my own characters, but I definitely used a lot of existing characters. There was one time where I created a couple characters based on me and my cousin's Skyrim characters. I ended up writing a whole story with them and everything. It was one of my first long original stories that I was proud of. When I got to middle school, I was having emotions left and right that I didn't know what to do with. That meant I was writing more, and that meant I was learning a lot more about writing. I ended up with this huge grammar fixation that led me to absorbing every bit of readily available knowledge on grammar that I could find. Honestly, I don't recommend diving that deep into grammar, writing tips, and stuff like that, because I started overanalyzing my writing for years, and I still do it now, just not as much as I used to. I was comparing myself to published authors and people who had been writing for decades as a job, and I was just doing it for fun. It's a bad habit to fall into, and it's so easy to compare your work to others and even to yourself. But that's neither here nor there. That's a whole other video that I could go into. But in middle school is where I started to branch out with my writing. I started writing with my own characters more, writing my own stories, and really exploring what I could do with writing. It's the time when I really started to learn about the limits of writing. Spoiler alert, there are no limits. In high school, I decided that I wanted to write my own original stories. I wanted to publish a book before I graduated, and I really wanted to start writing for profit. And I'm so glad I didn't. When I look back on my writing from 9th and 10th grade that I wanted to publish, I find typos and sentences that drag on or don't make sense. I wasn't sure about formatting quotes and dialogue tags yet. I didn't have the right flow with my words yet, and I just wasn't ready. But I felt ready. At the time, I certainly felt ready. I loved writing and sharing what I wrote, and I didn't really have a structure to my poems at the time. It just made me happy, and I was having fun, so everything felt like it was perfect. I think that's why I wasn't upset when I didn't publish a book as soon as I wanted, because it felt right. And even now, I know that I'll look back on Starlings at some point, and the pieces I'm publishing right now, and cringe at the tiny errors I find, but I don't care, because I'm having fun, and this is making me happy, and for right now, everything is perfect. So now, as a freshman in college, I think I'm qualified to say that writing is transformative. It's been something I can turn to when I need an outlet, the way that art tends to be for an artist. It gives me a space to think and unwind from a really hard day. I think that writing isn't stagnant, and your style will change, and you'll always find pieces to dislike or really hate about it. But if you have fun with it, I don't think that matters. And I think that goes for everything, actually. Howdy! Thanks for watching! If anything resonated with you, feel free to check me out here or at one of the links in the description. And have a lovely day, and bye-bye!